Hi guys. Can we just have a talk for a moment where me and all of my fellow MSers out there, hello, how are you? I'm gonna go ahead and do a story time, and I'd love to honestly hear how it's affected you guys, because I can't be the only one who goes through this emotional turmoil every time. So when I was first diagnosed with MS, it was back in 2019. And I was in a hospital for an entire week, and no one knew where I was, how I was going. No one was really worried about where I was. You know who was though? Who cared where I was? My husband. He was the only one to come visit, and he'd walk to come see me because no one would bring him. No one was even worried about where I was. They all just assumed I was finally over everything and I had left, and that was it. And that, my husband was out there just cheating and doing everything else without realizing that he was seeing me in a hospital with tubes and everything tied up. And can we just for a moment talk about how if you don't have a good support system in MS, it kind of overtakes everything in your life. And having someone in your corner really does make it worth it. It really makes you feel like you're not as useless, like you're actually seen. Like someone actually cares enough to notice that there's something wrong with you. And, initially when I was first diagnosed, I didn't care. I was like, okay, whatever. I was still really young then. I didn't have any kids. So I was like, it doesn't really matter. Whatever, right? Well, it doesn't matter until it matters. Why do I say that? I was told that I could never have children. And by God's grace, I had a son. And I was really excited to finally have a son, or to finally have a kid. Everyone said I couldn't have them. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved being pregnant. I loved giving birth. I loved having him. I loved holding him. I still love it. But halfway through his first year of life, so about 6-7 months in, I had a flare-up. So I had to go to the doctor. They gave me a port. I needed a blood transfusion. They sent me home a week later. So I'm a new mom. I haven't seen my baby in over a week. He's wondering where I am. Dad's trying the best that he can with the supplemental breast milk that I had left, with the Enfamil that's there, doing his best, making sure that he can still try and provide for the family while mom's in the hospital. And mom comes home, and mom's so excited to just hold the baby. Finally feel like normal. And my port was over here. My son, the left titty was his favorite titty. He saw the port as a baby, and from then on he just refused to breastfeed. Even after the port was removed, even after everything was done, he just refused. He refused to do it. That's it. And we really need to talk about how MS it takes more from you than just the physical things that you can do. It also takes moments and special times in your life that would be great. It makes you feel kind of less as an individual sometimes when, one day you can totally walk around and be okay, and the next you're laying in a bed or on a couch and you can't get up, you can't move, your leg barely wants to work. And if you try to stand up, you collapse like a sack of potatoes. You know what I mean? And on my journey with MS, I feel like I can deal with treatments. I can deal with having to go to the hospital. I can deal with all of that. What I can't deal with is missing out on all the important moments. Having to realize that this is gonna take so much. Like, am I even gonna be able to see my son get married? Or am I even gonna be able to get up to see that, to be able to see my grandchild and hold that grandchild when the time comes? Or about a little closer to home, when you have your counterpart and they're doing the best that they can to help you feel like you're emotionally okay and that you're physically safe, and they're making the space okay for you, and you're looking at them and you're like, you're trying your best to hold it together for them because you don't want them seeing you break down and cry and look completely hopeless because you feel entirely devastated by everything around you. And this is definitely why I said MS sucks, because it does suck, but it doesn't suck in the way that most people think. It sucks because it robs everything from you, and it doesn't rob it from you all at once. It robs it from you piece by piece by piece by piece. Yeah, you used to be able to go on long hikes and running. You know what you can do now? Hobble. You can hobble now. You can look at your son as he's excitedly playing and telling you to come play with him and be like, you want to do it, but you can't. And so you just answer back like, nah, I'm going to watch you from here. You go, you got it. Your counterpart picks up on the fact that emotionally you're not okay in that moment, and they take it upon themselves to go, you know what, kid? I'll go with you. Don't even worry about it. You're left sitting on the sidelines, watching because you can't participate anymore. And I really feel like society needs to understand that MS isn't something that you dictate. It's not something that you're like, oh, one day I'm gonna decide to just not do anything ever. It's not you're lazy. It's not that you're not doing anything. It's not that you'd rather be a hobo sitting on the streets doing nothing. No, it doesn't matter if you want to do it or not. Your body refuses to allow it. And I really feel like a lot more testimonies need to come out this way, because, and tell me if I'm wrong, for men and for women, it robs you of any sense of dignity that you have. There was an entire time where I couldn't shower by myself. I couldn't walk to the bathroom alone. I couldn't even use the bathroom alone, and you have to sit there feeling humiliated, knowing that you can do all of those things, but you can't because your MS is flaring up, and now you're as useful as a newborn baby. Or maybe let's talk about the stress that it starts putting on your family, not only financially but emotionally. That burden. Let's go ahead and bring that up. The fact that everyone is going to tell the person in their life, no, of course I'm going to do this for you, and they will because they love you, but silently you know that it's just as much of a burden to them as you, and then it makes you start feeling like a burden because you're like, I don't want to make anyone else suffer just because I'm suffering. And, you know, me personally, I'm an individual who, when I get really uncomfortable, when really nervous, really just not okay, instead of being sad in the moment, I laugh. I just kind of laugh everything off to make myself feel better. And, I mean, realistically, it doesn't help. You still sit in a room by yourself, crying, because, I mean, sometimes that's all you can do, right? And then you look for help. You see what can be done. You see all of these different things, and everyone loves to be like, oh, look at, like there are some people who are like, I do have MS, but look at all these great things that I can do, and it's like, okay, well, how about let's show the realisticness of MS, right? Let's not show the movie version of MS. Let's show raw, unfiltered. This messes up a family unit. Most people leave their partners because of this disability. And then you have a disability that, because it's an inconsistent disability, whether it's relapsing, remitting, progressive, you get looked at like, do you even have anything going on with you? Because you still look like a normal human being, at least in the beginning stages, right? Like, I had someone look at me as I was using my walker once, and because I looked like I was a normal human being, they had the gall to look at me and be like, what are you using that for? You don't even need it. What are you doing, making fun of people? And it just astounded me, the ignorance that people have when it comes to MS. And I can't be the only one who thinks that. Yeah, we have walk MS. We have all of these different things because at the end of the day, we're all going to try to make MS. It doesn't matter. We're going to work through it. You know what I mean? But, like, what happens when you start thinking the unthinkable just because you don't want to keep being such a heavy thing? What do you do then? Exactly. Or what about when people are looking at you because they think you're not doing enough? And they're like, oh, I have a disability too. Doesn't matter, still do it. That's great for you. Everybody has different disabilities. Like, I have a disability too. I'm not trying to measure any kind of penises here to be like, your disability is worse than mine. For me personally, anyway, it took a lot. It took a lot of moments that I feel like I should have had, and it feels like MS robbed me of a lot of important moments. Like, I am 28. There should be no reason that I'm not able to pick up 50 pounds, but I can't. It's heavy. I can't do it. It doesn't matter how hard I try. I run the risk of hurting myself or the individual. Why does that matter? Because my son is about 40 pounds now, and he looks at me like, Mommy, come pick me up, come pick me up. I want to go up with you. And I have to look at him. I have to look at him and try to make it a game and be like, no, you're too big for Mommy to pick up anymore. You're a big boy now. You got it, you got it. While internally, you're feeling useless. Or let's talk about the fact that you start talking about all of this and you anticipate maybe some human decency or some empathy to be involved, and all you get instead is, go get a job, you lazy bum. Go get up and do stuff. Can't be that bad. You're moving right now, aren't you? Go get a job. First of all, I can't tell you how many jobs I've lost so far because of MS. Finally, like, it's... Oh, and you know what? You know what? On that topic, right? I've personally lost a lot of jobs because of my MS. You know who else has lost a lot of jobs because of MS? My husband. Because when I go into a hospital for two weeks, 3, a month, I gotta be in and out because of infusions and transfers and MRIs. Who stays with the baby? Normally, dad stays with the baby. And if dad is staying with the baby, who's making money? Right? With MS, you get the side of the bridge that's gray. You get all the stuff of in the middle. Like, for example, if you go up to someone and they're like, I have cancer, most people are like, oh man, you have cancer? And then they go on an entire spiel, right? But if you walk up to someone and you're like, oh, I have MS, they're like, what's that? What does that even do? When they're both on the same severity. You know what the difference is, though? Cancer, chemo, you know you're gonna die, right? Because you're losing hair, you're going through all these treatments. MS, you're still going to all these treatments. You still know that you're losing each and every body function the longer it goes. Because let's be honest, much like cancer, it doesn't stop your MS, it only slows it down. And not even by a lot, just by a little bit. Right? So, why is MS not getting the same respect of severity, right? And I know I can't be the only person who thinks that. Honestly, in a world of almost 8 billion people, it feels like finding someone else who has MS that can relate to, like, I know what you're talking about. You'll come by once in a shooting star. Because, I mean, personally to me, I don't go up to people talking about, like, hey, I have MS. My name's Ellie. I have MS. What's your major malfunction? That's mine. That's not how people introduce themselves. And they're like, oh yeah, just go to AAA meetings, go to groups, go meet people on Facebook, go do all of these things. Yeah. What about when you have social anxiety and talking to other people is an issue? In which case, then you become ostracized because not only does your family not really care about what's going on, and they only care as much as it affects them, but you don't really have anyone else that's in your corner that can look at you in your eyes and say, I see you. I see what MS has done to you. And you know what? I'm so sorry. I know exactly how that feels. You need a hug? You need a shoulder to cry on? Just let it out. And you can't do that because then you're weak. Then you're being a baby about a disability that takes everything. You're an adult. Get a hold of it. It's not that bad. Living in a society that isn't knowledgeable and isn't taught makes having MS really hard. Everybody knows cancer. Nobody knows MS. They've heard of it if they know someone who has it. But that's as close as you get. Oh, I know someone who has MS. Well, how well do you know them? Because you're kind of talking like MS isn't that big of a deal. Talking about it uprooting someone's life like you're watching Channel 8 News. That is my rant on this topic. And for those of you who have MS, I'm so happy that you're waking up every day to keep trying. And you keep doing everything. And if no one's told you, you're doing great and you're super freaking strong for going through it. And I'm so proud of you. All right. Well,